Okay. I had 4 children go through Portola Middle School. I've had a real connection to Portola, and it's been very important to me to find a place, the best place to put it in El Cerrito. And we worked very hard to find it. And I know that there was no good solution. I wanted Oxbridge to be the solution because that would have been the best solution if they had found a location that wouldn't impact a school, because I really don't want to close a school. I wanted, if there had to be moving a school, to move the students from Fairmont to Alvarado. That was my idea. Nobody likes that idea, and I can't afford to do it anyhow, so it doesn't matter. The reason Castro was moved off the table was because it has multiple special ed programs, and it had a location that wasn't as feasible as far as the transportation issues went. That's why. That's what was compelling when we had the discussion. That was the reason. The reasons that were brought up to staff and who showed us the drawings tonight, who brought that and said, here's how Fairmont can work. Something has to work. We need to build the middle school, and we've vetted everything. We've looked at every location. We've looked at all the parameters of every location. It has not been an easy process. It has been a process very similar to the processes that I went through for years, actually, with Mr. Price, and the process that originally brought me here, which was the site committee process at El Cerrito High School, which I went through for many years with Mr. McQuarrie. And so I've been through processes in El Cerrito for a long time. So I wasn't unfamiliar with the way this process worked out. And I was not on the happy end of many of these processes in the past. So I want you to understand, I understand what that feels like. But I have to make a decision, and I have to find a place to put these children. So I am going to support the Fairmont, that we do the CEQA and do the Fairmont program, middle school.
I make a motion.
Can we have a motion, please?
Yeah, and I'm going to make mine very specific, and a lot of people, this one I'm going to vote for and support, because I just want to be at least clear about what it is, in that the board selects the build the middle school on the Fairmont property as the lead proposal and directs staff to begin the process to develop the lead proposal into a project. Further, that staff notify faculty and staff that relocating to Alvarado is not part of the proposal. I just want to make sure I'm very clear about that, because I don't want any misinformation out there. I think it's pretty obvious with the other part that if it's going to build a middle school on the Fairmont site, it's not going to Alvarado, that it will be closed. Now, the closure date, that's not for today, but just as the lead proposal, because there's a lot of work they do. They might come back and tell us it's not feasible, but that's, I'm going to make that statement as a board recommendation. I don't want people to get mad at staff, because I don't think that staff's recommendation, that's this board's, this is my recommendation. So that's my motion.
Second it.
Speak to it.
I'd briefly like to say that having gone through a long discussion of K-8 last year, nothing contrary to what the woman's medical analogy insinuated reopens that discussion. And I would like to point out that the principal reason that the K-8 discussion came to an end was that the financial considerations involved in staffing and facilities were untenable with our budget. Additionally, we have another difficult decision before us, and I think that you probably all know where we're going with this at this point. This has been a long process, and when Dr. Harder suggested to me last fall that we would have a series of 3 community meetings and bring this before the board, I said, no, please don't do that. It's going to be difficult. I live in El Cerrito. People are going to have a lot of feelings about it. But in fact, Mr. Ramsey went to all of the meetings. I went to most of the meetings. Mrs. Kronenberg went to most of the meetings. We sat with you and we listened to you. This is certainly a situation wherein we will probably not make anyone happy. But I think that in the long run, this board, all of us, are committed to providing the best possible education to every child in this district. And we will often disagree with each other and with various members of our community about how we go about doing that, about the process, about what it looks like, about the grade configuration, about the colors of the buildings, about where we put the buildings. But I think that I can assure you that the children do in fact come first. And so I think we'll have a roll call vote. Please, Ms. Heaney.
Ms. Miles, absent. Mr. Brown?
No.
Mr. Ramsey?
Aye.
Ms. Kronenberg?
Yes.
President Pfeiffer?
Yes. Thank you. We'll move on, or rather